format of the radiology and nephrology radiology department of the nephrology and radiology center, and Dr. DIASTY has about publication and also has about 4,000 citations. He will give us idea about how to avoid paper rejections.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the kind introduction. Dear colleagues, good morning. I will highlight the types of rejection of an original research article, then speak about the basic triad of the research article and in particular structure of the article, then give advice about the how reviewers evaluate any article. There is two main types of rejection. Before peer review, what is called editorial reject. It is done by editor-in-chief or the associate editor. And the second type is rejection after a peer review. So the common reasons for editorial reject are a high similarity index, the article is not relevant to the journal, a paper containing almost identical material has appeared in the same journal or other journals, the paper is fundamentally flawed, and the work is not original and has already been well covered in the literature. After refereeing, usually most journal has two blinded reviewers at least. The reasons for rejection after peer review are research question is not defined, the conclusions are not justified, poorly designed trial, badly written manuscript, and authors don't adequately respond to reviewers' comments. So this is a rejection after revision of the article. So there are three essential requirements for a research article. The first is the subject. There should be an addition to the already existing literature. So it's advisable to read the relevant literature carefully. Make sure that you are not repeating what had been done successfully before. The second requirement is structure. These are the contents of the original article, and usually it is submitted in this order. So in the title page, the institution should to be written in the title page only. Don't write information inside the article that can identify the affiliation or names of the authors. Ethics approval and consent to participate is very crucial, and there should be a consent for publication. Availability of data and materials, and to declare that there is no competing interest, and also a declaration about if there is any funding, and author's contribution. So the abstract is the first part that appears in the article, but it is the last part to be written. The reviewers ask the following questions regarding the abstract. Are the objectives clear? Is the subject of the study new? Is previous work on the subject adequately cited in the introduction or the background of the abstract? Is the rationale of the study adequately justified? That means how well the research questions is or are defined. What about the materials and the method? The reviewers ask the following question: is the study population detailed adequately? Are the methods described well enough? Is the study design clear? Are statistical methods included? So there is a general advice that don't write any result for a method not mentioned in the section of materials and the methods. Results must be written in a very clear, non-equivocal, non-confusing manner. Avoid redundancy. That's to say, each information must be mentioned only once. So, only relevant results related to the aim of the study should be mentioned. Don't distract the attention of the reader by irrelevant results. For results, it is advised that each information must be objective. Avoid using bizarre words like most, some, probably. Don't lose your objective. Each result should be useful to support the aim of the study. The reviewers ask the following questions regarding results. Can the reader assess the results based on the data provided? Is the information straightforward and not confusing? Are there adequate controls? Are statistical methods appropriate? Regarding discussion, there is four items, important items in discussion section. Short introduction, identifying the importance of the study. Then new addition in your study, or you have to present the essential results. Then discussion of the results in comparison to the literature, and at the end, the limitations of your study. So for discussion, results must be discussed in a respective, logical, clear manner. Each issue must be discussed in only one place. Avoid repetition of ideas. Also, avoid opinion bias. All important previous studies must be highlighted, regardless their results, whether with or against your results. The reviewers ask the following questions for discussion section. Do the author comment adequately on all their results? Have the authors explained why and how their study differs from other already published? Do the authors discuss the potential problems and limitations with their study? And how informative and useful is the discussion section? And are the author's conclusions are supported by the results? For references, each journal has its own style of references. So you have to read the instructions to author and read the instructions and examine a recent copy of the journal. All references should be written in the same style with the same arrangement. For tables, tables should provide additional information not present in the text to avoid redundancy. Tables should be simple, clear, not confusing, and easily to follow. And it is advised that tables are usually written after references, each table in separate page having its own number and title above the table. Be sure that the correct number of the table appears in the correct place in the text, so all tables should be cited in the text. For figures, legends of all figures are written in a separate page, usually after the tables. Don't write the legend above or below the figure. So the first to appear in the manuscript is the abstract, and the last to be written. There is usually 4 paragraphs carrying the following titles: objectives, materials and method, results, conclusions, and with a limitation of word number. All conclusions should be supported by results. A common mistake is to write a conclusion based on previous studies and not supported by your own results. Your conclusions should perfectly satisfy the objectives of the study. So, regarding the verb tense, introduction, discussion, and conclusion are written in present tense, whereas methods and the results in past tense. So the last requirement is some tips and tricks about mechanics of writing. Who will write? When there are multiple authors, one only must write the paper. Junior should write, senior should revise. So there is first version of the manuscript written in the following sequences: material and method, then results, then discussion and introduction at the end. Write the maximum information you have. In the second version, carefully revise the usefulness and quality of tables, illustration, and figures. Examine each item of the whole paper. And the third version, discriminate between what is of primary and what is of secondary importance. Ask yourself the following questions: what can be shortened, what can be simplified, and what can be collected all together, and what can be omitted. The last version, finalize the references, write the abstract and summary, and choose a final title. So the final title is the last sentence in the manuscript. Ask co-authors to check. Ask a consultant with reviewer experience to read it independently. And you, because you read what you think you said, not what you did say. Ensure the following items: a spell check and grammar check, and references are in the correct format, and all references mentioned in the reference list are cited in the text and vice versa. So there is some golden advice. Start now. Writing, like every other art, cannot be learned from books or lectures. The art can be learned only on the job. So once you start, you have to finish. In spite of all your hard work, the paper may still be rejected. So don't be discouraged. Use the reviewers' comments to write a better manuscript. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Professor Tarek, for this very important ideas, which are very important for researchers, authors, even for reviewers. Due to time, can allow for some questions?
Yeah, if there is any question,
if there is any questions, we can allow one or two questions.
Because there's a next lecture now, so we can have one question, and then any question we can ask the speakers directly. Yes.
The question is to Professor Dr. Haitham Shibl.
Haitham.
He is here.
So okay, we can ask Haitham later. Yes. Thank you so much.
I just have a comment that I noticed that sometimes gender is used interchangeably with sex, and there is a difference between gender and sex. Sex is the biological differentiation into male and female, and this is what actually we use generally in our medical research work. Gender is the social orientation of sex, or what people think about themselves, and this includes the rainbow of lesbian, gay, transgender, and bisex. So When we want to discuss, for example, the effect of blood pressure or so, we don't mention gender, we mention sex because this is the biological term. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saha, for the comment. We came to the end of our session. We will start now the second sessions.